What's up, fellas? It's a beautiful Thursday morning in Chicago. The vibes are so high. I woke up in just a spectacular mood. The weather's great, and it's draft day. NFL Draft 2025 tonight in Green Bay. So many storylines. And we'll start out, remind everyone, check out the Barstool NFL Draft Show. That's tonight at 7. John Gruden going to be in the house hosting. We're here for all your NFL draft needs. The first round tonight. Cannot wait. A lot of storylines we're going to get to. And as always, want to remind everyone, too, you can fire all kinds of draft bets on DraftKings. You can bet draft position, exact order, all kinds of stuff. We're going to break some of that down. Going to be joined by one of my favorite New Orleans characters of all time, Jono Barnes at 9:15. Talk about the Saints draft. Jono's a super funny dude and great follow on social media. As always, drinking some Stella Blue, waking up, getting my freaking mind right, got the dude wipes, and just ready for draft day. The vibes are high. I think the vibes are even more high because I'm feeling good. I'm so encouraged about the health stuff right now. Just really, really fired up. Joined by Tyler Moody this morning at the start. Moody on the Get Hot, Stay Hot. People tailgating in the chat for the Moody home run parlays. That's how hot this man is. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. Would have been that much better if Nick Kurtz would have homered to finish off the night. But look, you can't book them all. Had hit 2 more parlays yesterday, 18-1, 23-1. Had a bunch of singles. Went 4-1 on my plays as well. So you really can't beat a day like that. I don't want to get greedy and be like, oh, I wish I would have had this one. I'm pretty satisfied with last night for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Well, look, I was on that. In Moody's releasing the DraftKings No Sweat parlay every day. I had the one that was Kurtz with Corbin Carroll and O'Neal Cruz. And the first 2 hit. And last night I was laying in bed watching the box score, refreshing it when Kurtz was up in the 7th, trying to hit that 144-1 bomb. Unfortunately, he struck out in his major league debut. But whatever, man. Loving the sweats. You're giving the people what they want, and man, you're getting some traction on it. I mean, I see a lot of people on Twitter getting behind it. I mean, it's the old Bear Bryant, dude. Winning is the deodorant for everything.
That's right. Yeah, make sure you get some W's, and the rest will come. I think I've gained like 900 followers already this year just from the last couple of weeks. So for me, that's good. Obviously, I'm not the biggest social media guy in the world, but I'm definitely happy about it. I messed up taking Nick Kurtz last night, though. I got a little too cute with it. Had a base hit in his first at bat off Kumar Rocker. He was going to homer off of Kumar Rocker, or at least I'd like to believe he was. Rocker got chased kind of early from the game. He only got a chance to face him once, and the Rangers brought in a lefty. That's going to be Kurt's weakness, of course, as a left-handed hitter. Struck out a couple times there, and then didn't have necessarily the finish of the night that we wanted, but another solid-ass day in general.
Oh, dude. Well, dude, when you're playing the home run parlay thing, I mean, I love doing – what I love is the DraftKings having the no sweat one that's like $5 or $10. I'm just firing at your bomb every day, and then you get it back, and – it's just great lotto tickets with very low risk. And, I know you've already hit one at like 100-something to 1, but, looking forward to hitting another one. But, man, you're crushing it. Picks are good. I mean, so I know you're doing research every day. Like, what's your process?
All right, so my process, first off, I start and I look at the weather. I want to make sure that it's not blowing in 16, 20 miles an hour, in. If I have that, it's a game I will generally stay away from. Some of these guys hit the ball hard enough to slice through the wind. But if it's blowing in at 20 miles an hour, that'll kill fly balls. So that's my first thing that I look at. Then I have a site that I use. It's called theginalytics.com. Love this guy. Eli put it together. It's a really good site. So I use that, and I also pair that with Baseball Savant and Fangraphs. The number one thing that I like to look at, the top two things I like to look at, pitchers that give up a lot of fly balls and that give up home runs, obviously. So I'm going to start with their home run rate and their fly ball rate. Those are the 2 things that matter the most to me about pitchers. Then I'm going to look at that pitcher splits. I'm going to see which side he gets hit harder from, if there's one side that absolutely dominates him. I'm then going to flip to that team, look at the hitters from that team who have very good recent exit velocities and or hit a specific pitch type very hard. So let's say a guy's throwing sliders to lefties 20% of the time, but that slider is what he's giving up home runs on. I'm going to find the guy on that team that's hitting the slider very hard. And as long as his recent exit velos look good, that's going to be my guy. So there's a lot of things that go into it. I'm obviously paying attention. I think recent exit velocity shows you how well the guy is hitting the ball at the moment. If it's coming off the bat 105 plus the last 5 games in a row when he's making contact, that's someone that's going to be on my radar. And so if there's 2 or 3 dudes that I'm kind of stuck between, recent exit velos will always be my deciding factor. I want the person that's hot and going to stay hot.
My other question, so do you look at like batters' histories versus certain pitchers too, or do you not even look at that?
A little bit, yes. Obviously, past progress can lead to future success. That is something like, let's say, like Pete Alonso's homered 5 times off of Nola. He's going to homer off of him again this year at some point, probably. You know what I mean? As long as they match up 2 or 3 more times, like they usually do. So if a guy completely dominates a pitcher, yes. If they've just hit like 1 home run and 15 at bats or something, I'm probably not going to like make that a deciding factor. But if they hit one of their pitches really well, then yes. The percentage of pitches thrown, like, fastballs 30% of the time to right-handers. Well, let's find the right-hander that's crushing four-seam fastballs, So there are little things that will sway me one way or the other, but definitely recent exit velos, pitch type splits, and then just, splits and fly balls in general.
Well, I'm loving following the journey. Listen to all that. Let Moody do all that research, and he's watching all the games and following it and just giving out free picks to the people. I mean, a man of the people. How can you not love Tyler Moody?
And I'll tell you what, dude, I have so many of these like apps in my DMs trying to get me to come put my picks behind a paywall and get paid from giving out my picks and stuff. I will never do that. This is for the people. You know what I'm saying? I'll hand those out for free forever. You can take my word on that. I will never put my stuff behind a paywall. That's an absolute fact.
Well, keep them coming, man. The people are loving it. And, I mean, like you said, we got people in the chat tailgating for it. Want to get into some stuff before we're going to go heavy NFL draft in a minute. Last night, 3 NBA playoff games. I have nothing to say about the Boston Magic or Cavaliers Heat series. Both won by 9. Both are probably going to sweep or win in 5, whatever. The one I want to talk about is the Rockets-Warriors. Big bounce back for the Rockets last night, winning 109-94. It was a total must-win for Houston, like we talked about yesterday. But, Golden State still gets this thing back to Golden State at 1-1. They're such a veteran team that, you got to feel like they, going to Houston, they're like, as long as we can just win 1 or 2, we got to feel really good about where we're at. But you do got to give Houston credit for bouncing back really strong. Jalen Green had a great game last night. And, the Rockets, it's incredible what they've built so fast. I mean, they're the freaking number 2 seed, really young team. Udoka, the former Celtics coach who kind of had that little problem on the way out of Boston, but he got Boston to the championship series, lost in the finals in 2022. This is just such a fascinating series because you got the young youth of Houston trying to rise against Steph and Butler and Draymond, the old school Warriors. And, I think this thing's headed 6 or 7. I still kind of agree with you that I think Golden State's veterans are going to pull it out, but this one's going to be fascinating to follow.
Great series. It really is. And you got to give Houston a ton of credit for pulling it together. They didn't look great in game 1. They did have a nice little run where they tried to force things back in game 1, but the Warriors withheld. Yesterday was pretty much all Houston. That's, Sengun is a hell of a player. Jalen Green, like they've got some talent on that team. So,
Jabari Smith, Fred VanVleet.
Jabari Smith, yeah, he's a baller too. He's been playing really well. I tailed one of Che's bets the other day. Che made me a little coin on a Jabari Smith Jr. bet, so shout out to Che for that. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a great series. It definitely could go 7. Obviously, I'm cheering for the Warriors. I got a little bit of money on it. Nothing crazy. I did get him at 22-1. So I needed a sweat for the NBA playoffs. I love Steph Curry. I can't help it. I think he's the consummate professional, the greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball, undisputable greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball. And I don't know, man. I find it very easy for me to cheer for Steph Curry. So
yeah, he's always been one of the most likable superstars of all time. 3 games tonight. New York Knicks at Detroit, 1-1 in Detroit. Whatever's left of the Grizzlies hosting the Thunder after they lost by 51-19. Thunder an 8.5-point road favorite in Game 3 in Memphis. And then the other series goes to Game 3 that's been the best so far by far, and that's Denver and the Clippers. First game, Denver wins 112-110 in OT. The Clippers win Game 2 by 3. This feels like one that's going 7. That's just a back-and-forth slugfest with Quad, James Harden slugging it out with Jokic and Jamal Murray. When I look at the NBA playoff series, this first round, you've got a lot of just like easy walks for the top seeds, especially in the East. But Denver, Clippers, and Golden State, Houston, and Lakers, T-Wolves in the West are all really fun to watch, I think.
Yeah, those are three incredible matchups. Anytime you can watch Jokic play and a healthy Kawhi Leonard, you know you're going to see good basketball. They're two dudes that play the game the correct way. They're so fundamentally sound. I mean, they just, obviously Kawhi gets after it on both ends of the floor whenever he's healthy. The offense running through Jokic is just a thing of beauty. It really is. I know the Nuggets had a little slip towards the end of the year, fired the coach, fired the GM, which I still find very strange. But
bizarre.
Again, I'm not as dialed in on the NBA. Maybe there's something I missed there.
Well, a lot of people that follow NBA thought it was strange too.
Yeah, I just, on the surface, it definitely looks strange, especially the timing of it all. You've got a team that's been together. They've had success. Like, I don't know.
That coach developed Jokic as a second-round pick into the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, the best player in the NBA, future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players to ever play the game,
ever.
Being honest.
Ever.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so, I don't know. I thought it was strange, but I think the Nuggets ultimately find a way because Jokic is that dude, but you can't count on Kawhi.
NHL stuff to touch on last night. The Caps 3-1 over the Canadians, 2-0 Washington. They're doing the Bands That Make Her Dance theme song. They're fired up in Washington. I really hope they make a run. This Stars Avalanche series, I've been watching it. Man, Dallas wins 2-1 in overtime in Colorado. Moody, here's a wild stat. Dallas is up 2-1 in the series. How much has Dallas led games in this series? How long?
I mean, pretty much 0 seconds, huh?
Under 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes.
Under 2
total.
minutes.
Under 2 minutes total, and they're up 2-1. If I were the Avalanche,
be lucky to good.
I would be furious. Dallas had a defender make an awesome play in overtime when there was basically an empty net, and a defender got in front of it when the goalie was out of position and saved the game. And they scored. That's awesome. Then the Kings beat the Oilers 6-2, so the Kings are up 2-0. I feel like the Oilers allow more goal. I don't know anything about hockey, but man, the Oilers, their over's got to be something. I mean, the first two games were 6-5 and 6-2 in the series, and it seems like that's what their playoff run was like last year. They just play shootouts all the time. Hockey playoffs continue to roll on tonight. Game 2, Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning. Florida's up 1-0. Toronto heads to Ottawa up 2-0. And Las Vegas at Minnesota 1-1. And the Winnipeg Jets up 2-0 heading to St. Louis. So 4 games tonight, man. A lot of sports tonight. NFL draft, 3 NBA playoff games, 4 NHL, Major League Baseball, and a couple SEC baseball series starting. So lots to get into. Do you want to get off to get Jono on?
Yeah. I'm going to jump out of the way here and let Jono jump in. Good luck, everybody. We'll have some plays out for you later today. I haven't really gone through the games yet.
All right. We're about to be joined by Jono Barnes, one of my favorite characters I've literally ever met. Follow him on Twitter at Jono Barnes. Just such a funny guy. This shit more than a game. His logo, his trademark saying, and we're going to talk some NFL draft with Jono when he gets on here in a second. Looking at the draft tonight, like I said, NFL draft show, 7 p.m. Can't wait to see. If you didn't check out last night, John Gruden, coworker John Gruden, which is still so crazy to say, his QB camp thing has been epic content. The one with him and Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart releasing last night, just awesome content. Check that out if you hadn't seen it. Big night potentially for Jackson Dart tonight. Will he go in the first round, or will he land? And we're going to be talking about that with Jono here in a second, because there's a chance New Orleans trades back up to get him. Cam Ward, when you look at the quarterbacks, Cam Ward's going number 1. Everybody knows it to Tennessee. No surprise there. Everybody knows Travis Hunter's going second to Cleveland. They're going to play him at receiver and corner. Abdul Carter, the Penn State stud edge rusher, is going to go third to the Giants. And then maybe the draft starts at 4. There's rumors New England could trade down, which is something they've done a lot through the years, or they could take possibly Will Campbell, the stud left tackle from my hometown of Monroe, Louisiana. So really the drama is going to start at 4 tonight, I feel like. Other questions at the top of the first round. Ashton Jeanty, the Boise State stud running back who finished second in the Heisman Trophy voting. Man, a lot of people feel like he could go 5th to the Jags or 6th to the Raiders. Man, he's going to go really, really high. Jono, we got you?
We got you, yes. We had a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. My apologies, but I am here.
Well, I know this. First round of the NFL draft. This shit's more than a game. Let's get turned up.
This feels like the official start of the season, right? Like I know September is the official start of the season, but draft day is when it feels like, oh, the 2025 season is officially here.
Yeah, it does. And man, fired up for tonight. Jono, we got, a lot. It's interesting on the Saints front. You're diehard Saints, even more than I am, and I'm freaking diehard. There's a lot to discuss right now. And first, I want to start with how much of a bitch do you think Derek Carr is?
I've actually been, called a Derek Carr apologist in the past because I've always kind of felt like he is who he is. I didn't come into his Saints era expecting him to suddenly be Drew Brees. I always knew he was kind of a middle-of-the-pack quarterback. So I thought fans were a little too harsh on him. And I thought the fans should have looked in the mirror and blamed themselves for thinking that Derek Carr was going to be something different than what he showed he was in Vegas and Oakland. But there's no defending this, man. It started with the Super Bowl. You even talked about it. I was like, it's kind of weird that the quarterback of the whole city is not in any Super Bowl activities. But me being who I am, I'm like, wait, okay, maybe he, has some injury, he's rehabbing, he's just, doesn't want to be a part of the festivities. He's a guy who always says, I'm only going to be in the Super Bowl or at the Super Bowl if I'm in the game. But I also thought that was kind of weird. It's sad that us hosting the Super Bowl, we got to go down to Sean Payton and Drew Brees well to represent, shout out to Sean Payton and Drew Brees well to represent the New Orleans Saints for the Super Bowl because we don't have a head coach and quarterback who can represent us adequately. But this whole scenario where he's out for the season, Mickey Loomis is being hush lips about it, Derek Carr's being tight lips about it. Mickey Loomis I can kind of understand because maybe he doesn't want to show his hands. I get poker. Mintzy, you're a poker expert yourself. You don't want to make these teams know that we're in a criteria or need for a quarterback. But I've had my wits end too, Mintzy. When I've had my wits end, you're at your wits end. Like, come on now, you're getting $40 million guaranteed. I'm a season ticket holder, Mintz, and I don't know who my goddamn quarterback is going to be. The Saints are tight-lipped about it, but they damn sure ain't tight-lipped about getting me these notifications saying, hey, the season ticket invoice money is due. Give us out money. Well, how about y'all let me know who the hell my goddamn quarterback is? They're running the goddamn shit show right now on Airline Drive in New Orleans, Louisiana, Mintz. And the sad thing is, we as fans have to eat the shit sandwich because Gail Benson and Mickey Loomis are best buds and two peas in the pie. It's bullshit.
Bullshit. It is, and the other thing is I think they went up 10 or 15% on season ticket prices, which
hell yeah.
Which honestly they did it because of all the money they just put into the Superdome for the Super Bowl.
I don't give a damn about that, man, bro. The Saints and Pelicans went up on season ticket prices. They've had two of the worst seasons in franchise history, and the people on Airline Drive in New Orleans got the nerve and the gall to raise season ticket prices. And then we get a goddamn Friday news dump saying, "Oh, by the way, y'all, $40 million guaranteed quarterback. He might not even play a damn snap this season. But pay your season tickets, Saints fans. Get out of here with that, man. I'm very, very. I'm not in a good space right now, man.
Jaded.
And Saints and Pelicans franchise and ownership.
Well, I'll say, looking back on the Derek Carr thing, the offseason they signed him, when they gave him all that money, that was the same time Tampa gave Baker Mayfield like $4 or $5 million to come in there, and look how that's turned out. I mean, it's just like when you look at the Saints and Bucks, that exact moment is just it's a tough one to look back on. The Derek Carr thing, I've got a couple of points. I will say, the one thing about New Orleans, they always say, if you love New Orleans, it'll love you back. Well, he's never loved New Orleans, and that's been part of the problem with him and the fans, is that he's never really gone all in since he moved there to be part of the culture in the city. And you saw like how much Jameis Winston did, and obviously Drew Brees, who's, you can't compare him to Brees. But, I think that's been part of the problem. I will say this, that Carr shoulder injury came on a play where he sold out to try to get that first down against the Giants. And, I mean, he did sacrifice his body on it. But having said that, I think he's playing a poker game. They're saying he could miss the season. I don't know that his shoulder injury is that bad to miss the season. I think this is just his cop-out to get out of New Orleans. But having said that, I mean, it's time to get him out of there. Look, you bring in a whole new staff and regime with Kellen Moore and Doug Nussmeier as OC and Scott Tolzien as quarterback coach. And, it's a new era. What are you trying to win 7 games with Derek Carr, who's 35? The hell with it. I mean, blow it up. This is the time to do it. So, I think it's kind of one of those things that's run its course. And that leads us into tonight. Right now, Spencer Rattler on the roster, but you can't think the Saints are going to roll into the season with him as the only QB1. The Saints with the 9th overall pick in the first round. What do you see them doing?
I don't see them going quarterback at 9. I would be
No.
shocked. And to be honest, I don't think there is any first-round worthy quarterback besides Cam Ward. And I think if he reaches his highest of heights, I think Shedeur Sanders is a first-round quarterback. Everybody else, to me, is a second round or lower. Now, I'm going to preface it with this, everybody who's watching this lovely show. I am not a draft expert. I don't pretend to be. When Mintzy announced me, he didn't say draft analyst. He didn't say draft expert. I am a fan like everybody else, so I'm not going to pretend like I was.
You bring the content, though, and that's what it's
Jackson
about
Dart.
here.
I wasn't watching Jackson Dart highlights and game film in November, Jalen Milroe or anybody like that. So it always is kind of weird to me, Mintz, that these quarterbacks, for me at least, as a casual fan, and I might sound like a dumbass, but like suddenly Jackson Dart is like, oh, he's a guy that could be a franchise quarterback. And I'm like, well, where was this Jackson Dart noise in November or December? I certainly didn't hear that much hype for him then. I have this fear that teams, because the quarterback position is so valuable, they talk themselves into some of these guys every March, every April, because they need a quarterback. And hey, well, this is the crop that we have of the current year, so this is who we have to go with, and this is who we have to fall in love with. If the Saints take a quarterback, whether they shock the world and do take one at 9 or trade up or take one in the second round, I truly hope that they love the guy and it's not just, well, he's the best of what's available and we need one, so we're going to force ourselves to enjoy be optimistic about his traits going forward. I want a guy who they believe was a top 5 prospect at quarterback last year, and they believe will be a top 5 prospect next year. So if they love Jackson Dart that much, they better have loved Jackson Dart in 2025 too, or 2026 too, with that quarterback class coming out. All that to say, I don't think that they're going to draft a quarterback at number 9. I think there are 2 options. One, I can see a scenario where we do finally trade back and gain some more assets, which
you just said something that Mickey Loomis, he's never done it. But if there's ever a time to trade back and collect some picks, it's right now. With the roster in disarray. They need depth. They need young blood. That's what I want to see. But, I mean, all of us have been, Saints fans have been wanting Mickey Loomis to trade back for years, and he literally never does it. He always trades up, and you saw him do stupid shit, like especially when he traded up for that Eagles 24th pick that was Trevor Penning, and they get freaking Jalen Carter the next year with that 8th pick. I mean, one of the worst trades in NFL history. But I think I agree. I think you trade back from 9, maybe to get a late first rounder and then a couple others, and then, that's what I think.
But here's the thing. If we do trade back, my worry is that we're going to use what we garner in those assets of the trade back from 9 to try to trade back up eventually to the top pick, because I saw Jordan Schultz tweeted that last night, to get a quarterback, because we're going to, in my opinion, panic. Oh, we don't want anybody taking Jackson Dart. So instead of waiting that the second round pick at pick number 40, we're going to move on up in the draft because we want this guy. And again, if they love the guy, more power to them. If Kellen Moore truly believes Jackson Dart is going to be a franchise quarterback, my fear is that we have, because of the Derek Carr scenario and just our need for a quarterback in general, even if Derek Carr was healthy, we're talking ourselves into some of these guys because we need a quarterback. Hey, this is the best of what we have available in 2025. So let's find one that we think can be a good quarterback, rather than actually being like truly in love with a prospect. Like if Jackson Dart was in last year's class, would he have been on the Saints radar as the 3rd best quarterback? That's always my way of knowing, like, do you truly love a quarterback? Because I feel like last year, if Jackson Dart was in the draft, the Saints would still probably have someone like Penix or Bo Nix, possibly, definitely like someone like J.J. McCarthy in front of him. So do y'all love Jackson Dart that much to really trade up for him if that comes to the fruition? Ultimately, every time all the fun scenarios comes up for the Saints, we wind up doing the most boring thing. So I think we're going to stay at number 9. We're probably going to draft like Calvin Banks or someone, an offensive tackle, like someone that's not going to get the fan base rejuvenated, which, hey, I'm okay with offensive linemen because I do believe you have to build your team through the lines. But it will probably be the most unexciting scenario that we go with, which is an offensive lineman.
Well, yeah, but I actually don't have a problem with that either, because when you look at the Saints' current roster, Fuaga, they hit on Fuaga at left tackle last year, but yesterday they announced they picked up Olave's 5th-year option. They're not going to pick up Pennings, which they shouldn't. So if you do take Kelvin Banks or a tackle, you can have him and Fuaga, for I mean, you're set at tackle, and Ruiz and McCoy are still solid, so you're feeling good about the line for a long time. I'm totally fine with that, to be honest. The other guys, a lot of people are hyping up Mikael Williams, the Georgia edge DM linebacker.
I have PTSD from the, he didn't get that many sacks, but look at the potential. I'm like, well, I heard that with Marcus Davenport.
And Peyton Turner.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I think I've seen, again, I'm not an expert, y'all, but I've watched enough draft film now the past month that I do think Mikael Williams definitely flashes. Right, he can be an all-pro type player if it all comes together. But the Saints fan in me, and I'm a Saints fan, everybody, is that I hear that and I instantly go to Marcus Davenport. I'm like, well, yeah, Davenport was the same way. When he flashed, oh, wow, this guy can be a Pro Bowl, all-pro type player, but it never came to fruition. And I kind of would like somebody who has the data to back up why we will be taking him at number 9 and not but if he reaches his heights, well, he should have reached his heights in college for me to pick him with the number 9 pick. That's just me though, Mintz. I'm not an expert.
The guy I want the Saints to look at, I don't know if he's going to fall, but like I've seen a lot of mocks where Mason Graham could fall to 9 from Michigan.
That's one miss you run up to the podium and take.
Exactly.
That's somebody who I've seen and I say, okay, I see the resume. I don't have on a resume, he could possibly do this and that. The resume shows me he did this, he did that. That's who you run up to the podium at number 9 and take. If by God willing, he falls to us at number 9. Someone like Mason Graham, someone like Tyler Warren. Like I think Tyler Warren is more than a tight end, no pun intended. Like I think he can open up the offense a lot. Granted, we wouldn't have a quarterback to give him the ball unless you really believe in Spencer Rattler, but he's a tool that can be somebody valuable for the next 10 years. If Ashland Jeffrey Jinxie falls to us, I'm like, okay, look, I know what he is. Granted, running back that high to me always scares me when you have a team like ours who isn't quite ready to contend yet. But I've seen the data. I know that he is great. Take him. I'm kind of wanting right now, if we stay at number 9, a proven guy and not somebody who I have to be sold on where if he reaches his potential.
No, I hear you. And what is interesting is Kellen Moore just had that year with Saquon Barkley where he ran for over 2,000 yards, won the Super Bowl, showing what having a dominant franchise back's like. So I don't know if that possibly influences him on Genty. The one thing I will say on Kellen Moore, coming out of Dallas and Philly, put a huge premium on the line of scrimmage, both places. And so that makes me think, came out yesterday that him and Loomis are on the same page on building through the line. So I think a boring but successful offensive and defensive line pick is coming first round. But I hope they trade back. I know they never do it. But I think there's so many holes in this roster. Trade back, get some picks, and then if you like Dart, come back into the late first round to get him. And the Dart thing, look, you were texting me last night about him. And hey, I don't know if you had a chance yet, check out John Gruden's quarterback camp with Jackson Dart that came out last night. Phenomenal content.
Yeah, it was. I watched it. I'm in the process right now, man, because I'm like, I feel like it's going to be Dart. If not Dart, it's going to be like, Tyler Show from I'm like, it's going to be like one of these guys. So I'm trying my best to like, okay, let me find a positive clips of them and like sell myself on them. Because this is like, it's draft day, man. It's like, this is the time it's why it's probably the greatest day besides week 1 for every NFL fan base, because all 32 fan bases tonight have a chance to become rejuvenated. You just want to be irrational, if you want to be angry or whatever. It's the perfect day to be a fan and what fanaticism is all about. So I'm trying to talk myself into some of these quarterback mentors, which is why I have been hitting you up behind the scenes. And I'm like, Mintz, please just sell me on this Jackson Dart kid and make me have some type of hope for the future if he is our next guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. At least the thing on the Saints, the one positive I have on the Saints right now is I really like the new coaching staff. I really do. I think Kellen Moore, he impressed me with the staff he put together. Because so often when you're hiring a young coach, do they have the connections to put together a good staff? And, I love the Brandon Staley defensive coordinator hire. As the DC of the Rams when they won the Super Bowl in 2021. I like Doug Nussmeier as OC and then Tolzien quarterbacks coach coming over from Dallas, who I thought did a good job there. So, that's the one thing that encourages me. That's really all I got. But at least there's, hope and new blood on that front. Some other draft stuff I want to hit. So my prediction – the Shedeur Sanders stuff is so polarizing. I'm predicting Jono, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur Sanders, both Cleveland Browns. That's my prediction.
Wow. So do you have Shedeur Second round, or do you have?
Yep, I got him second pick of the second round.
Well, that's what the media has been building up as the storyline of the night. Where does Shedeur Sanders go? Do we get the vaunted, popular player in the back lobby, footage like Aaron Rodgers, like Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders this year? It's going to be real hard, Mintz, for the Saints to skip him at 9. Especially given the Derek Carr situation right now, because Shedeur Sanders, whether you have faith in him or not, he is the most popular player in this draft, I would say. Correct?
Oh, no doubt about it. You're getting, especially if you're like a franchise that's having trouble selling tickets. I mean, you're going to get
like the worst. Our worst is the most polarizing player. So, there's a lot of fans like me who aren't draft experts, who aren't watching every single game film, who just knows, oh man, Shedeur Sanders was balling in Colorado and he's a flashy guy. He's going to sell tickets and jersey sales and whatnot. It's going to be in New Orleans, folks, if you really want some fun reactions, watch New Orleans skip on Shedeur Sanders in the first round, because a lot of fans have already sold themselves on Shedeur Sanders being that guy, especially with Derek Carr out for the year, to be the one to take the mantle and be our next franchise quarterback. And when the New Orleans Saints skip on Shedeur Sanders, and I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders is going to be great, guys. I'm just saying how fandom works. When New Orleans Saints skip on Shedeur Sanders tonight, watch how vitriolic New Orleans gets, because the fan base, at least half of them, have already sold themselves that Shedeur Sanders should be the guy. And I'm not mad at them either.
My thoughts on Shedeur, I'm picking Cleveland for him. He's plus 210 on the DraftKings Sportsbook to go to Cleveland. Look, the 3 options are Cleveland, the Saints, I guess, too. Pittsburgh at 21 is a possibility. When you look at Steelers right now, I don't know what's going on with the Aaron Rodgers thing, but he hadn't signed there yet. But they lost Russell Wilson. They lost Justin Fields. All they got is Mason Rudolph on the roster, who's a fine backup. You're not rolling into the year with him. And so they got to do something. Maybe the Rodgers thing still happens, but if not, you're talking about a team, they gave $150 million to DK Metcalf. You're going to give that kind of money to a wide receiver, you damn sure got to have somebody that can throw him the ball. So I think Pittsburgh at 21 is an option, but if not.
I can't see him falling to the second round, man. So I really can't. I feel like even if he does start to creep into the second round, some team is going to panic tonight and say, oh, no, we got to grab him. Like, he's too good of a prospect. I just can't see. I think Cam Ward and Shedeur are guaranteed first-round picks tonight. I could be wrong, but I think Shedeur at least goes first round.
Yeah, and then the Dart thing, other team I'm really watching is the New York Giants. Obviously, There's a lot of Ole Miss Giants ties with Eli Manning, and Joe Judge, who used to coach the Giants, is on the Ole Miss staff. I feel like the Giants, they signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston this offseason, but that's that's both short term,
Yeah, right.
And so if they think Dart's their guy, I could see them. No chance at 3, but I could see them possibly, late first round being in the
mix.
Let
me ask you a question, Mintz. How far, you get the tiers, right? So Cam Ward right now seems to be in the tier of his own. Then you may have Shedeur Sanders below that. And then you kind of get to the Jackson Dart. I
actually think Dart and Shedeur are neck and neck right now.
Really? Okay.
I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance Dart gets drafted over Shedeur. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's close.
See, nothing popped out for Jackson Dart. I'm a casual, guys. But nothing popped out for Jackson Dart when I will watch LSU win Ole Miss games, and I never say, that guy right there is going to be.
I don't know, man. Have you the game 2 years ago when Ole Miss beat them 55-49? He had a pretty damn good game with that one.
You're trauma-dumping me this morning, man. It's all the Saints and Pelicans and LSU stuff. He has shown flashes, but like when I always go with the eye test as a casual fan. Like I look at Shedeur and I'm like, oh, this kid, I see star in him. Never saw that with Dart, but maybe that's on me for never really even looking hard enough to see if he could ever be a star in the NFL. I enjoyed John Gruden's film study with him last night. I watched that because I'm like, this guy might be my next quarterback for the next 10 years. Seems like a good kid. He looks like he's going to be very popular at the boot in New Orleans. If you know, you know. It's going to be interesting. I'm trying to ask myself, as you just said, is Jackson Dart that much higher than Jalen Milroe's potential, or even Tyler?
I want to talk about Milroe a little bit for a second because everybody's been hating.
I actually would prefer Milroe over Jackson Dart. That might sound stupid to a lot of people, but I actually think I would prefer Milroe.
Well, I think the one thing on Milroe that people are forgetting, because everybody's been hating on him in this draft process, but that dude is lightning, and if he gets to play on the Superdome, Well, no, especially getting to play home games on that turf. I mean, he would be his running ability would be just
You
phenomenal.
mentioned Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore also just left Jalen Hurts. He could probably look at Jalen Milroe and go, I can mold him into a Jalen Hurts type guy. So, hey, I'm not mad at Jalen Milroe at the second round pick. And if he doesn't pan out, I feel that you can still use him as a gadget type player and you still get some type of benefit to him. So, I have a stupid theory, man. So I'll put it out there right now. I haven't been afraid to put it out there. And it's illogical, it's stupid, but that's okay because as a fan, that's what I embrace. It's being stupid sometimes. We have not drafted a quarterback in the first round since Archie Manning. I keep saying
I think it's first. I think it's first or second round, actually, too.
Why not just wait until Archie Manning comes out? And I know you cannot predict stuff like this. You can't tank in the NFL. I don't give a damn. Okay, I'm a fan. It's not my job to be smart. Wait till Archie Manning comes out, Saints. Draft him in the first round. It would be the most poetic story of all time. Arch Manning would be easily the top selling Saints jersey ever since Drew Brees. Probably would sell more than Drew Brees off of hype alone. He has not proven himself yet. I know fans are going to say, this guy doesn't even know when Arch Manning is coming out or if Arch Manning really is that good. I don't give a damn. I'm a fan. I'm not an expert. They're not paying me and having a roof over my head to be a top line expert or analyst. I'm a fan. I want Arch Manning. I don't want Jackson Dart. I don't want Tyler Show. I don't want Jalen Milroe. I'll take him if that's what we got to do this year. But I want to wait for Arch Manning, draft him in the first round, and he can be the first quarterback taken in the first round for the New Orleans Saints since Archie Manning. You can't write stuff like that. That's a Disney script. You can't write stuff like that.
No, I agree with that. That would be awesome. I think the thing with Arch, I've been talking to my Texas people, and I think he's going to play 2 more years at Texas. Is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing, because the Mannings are always extremely patient people. So I think he's going to play 2 more years. The other one that would be crazy is Nussmeier at LSU.
All right, this is my hot take.
What about him with his dad being the OC? Him in a year.
That would be a cool story, but I haven't seen anything from Nussmeier to make me also go, this guy is a franchise quarterback. This year, this is proven year for me. The way that LSU quarterbacks in the past flashed last year at LSU. We saw it recently with Jaden Daniels.
And Burrow.
Prove it to me. That's prove it. Prove it to me, and then I'll be all on board because that would be a cool story too, right? The LSU quarterback staying in Louisiana. His dad is the offensive coordinator. How great would that be? But he has to prove it to me, man, because I haven't seen it yet for me to go, and this is our guy. The only thing that really makes me excited about him is that he goes to LSU.
Yeah, speaking of the Louisiana story, I'm pulling for, but I think it's a long shot because I think Will Campbell is going to go too early. But Will Campbell, he's from Monroe, where I'm from. I know his family. If he goes from Neville, to LSU to the Saints, I mean, that's literally the Louisiana dream to play high school, college, and pro. I don't know if it can happen because I think he's going to New England at 4. But that's the story I'm pulling for. I mean, he's from a great family. He's a good dude. I just think that would be one of the coolest things of all time if we got a Monroe to Baton Rouge to New Orleans. That would I don't think he's going to fall though.
He would be the real offensive lineman that fans would get excited about in Louisiana because he plays for LSU. So I would love it too. I just don't see him falling to number 9.
No, I don't either. Well, Jono, I know you got some good news, man. You got a little boy on the way.
This is actually my last draft I can watch in peace, right? So I'm savoring these next few days because my baby comes in about 4 weeks now. So imagine that. I'm sure everybody's like, wow, that guy.
I'm excited for you. So Barstool people that aren't familiar, Jono does just really, really funny skits and content. And I can't wait to see the content of you watching the game with the baby freaking out and getting the baby crying because you're freaking out and your wife saying you're irritating the baby. I can already see this content.
That's not even skits. That's real life.
I know. I mean, that's the beauty of it. But I can already just see it, you watching a game, freaking out, and your wife running in there saying you're disturbing the baby. It's going to be unbelievable. I
am super excited, man. Blessings for a healthy delivery, and I cannot wait to. And I don't know if it's going to be child abuse to make him a Saints, Pelicans, and LSU fan, but I cannot wait to ingrain him into this shit more than it's easy. This shit more than the game lifestyle. I got this shit more than the game stuff everywhere. You see, man? So I'm
dude, it's blowing up, man. You got all the different colors, man. I always rock that shirt up here, man. I love it. I think it's
Hey, Miss, you don't mind me asking, well, who my guy Moody? Who does he have us taking? Does he have his picks for the draft?
I think he was thinking the Dart thing late first. But first round he thought O-line too. And then Moody's a Cowboy. Moody's a Cowboys fan. They're the 12th pick. I think Dallas. They always go. Dallas has a long history of O-line first round. I think they're going to take Tyler Booker, the Bama guard, because Zach Martin just retiring.
Right.
You just plug him in there to replace him, and I mean that's another boring but solid pick. So that's kind of
one thing I'll give the Cowboys is they are very good at drafting offensive linemen. So
yeah, I think that's what's coming for the Cowboys. Is that would be my prediction. But man, can't wait for the draft tonight. It's gonna be really fun. Join us at the NFL Draft Show. 7 o'clock. I'll be on with the Saints pick. Me and Megan making money, and I always get to do the Saints pick every year. It's kind of become a fun Barstool tradition.
I will be on my live stream as well, youtube.com/Jono Barnes. But just like last year, I will for sure tune in afterwards when I have a chance to excel from the post-draft coverage and watch what you and a great team at Barstool does. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a very exciting night, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks to Jono for joining us this morning.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Last time I was on the show and all your fans on the YouTube chat was like, oh, this guy has a thick accent. He talks too damn fast. Well, if I have a thick accent and I talk too damn fast, maybe you are just not this shit more than the game certified. Look in the mirror next time.
Look, you're one of the most – I know a lot of people in the world. You're one of the most authentic characters and personalities I've ever met. I mean, first ballot. So you're always welcome here. Love your energy and your passion for New Orleans, and just always great catching up with you. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and his YouTube at Jono Barnes. And we are doing a Friday show tomorrow. We don't always, but with this being the first round of the NFL draft, we're going to be back in here at 9 a.m. tomorrow, breaking down some of the stuff that happened for tonight. Great sports weekend, though. NBA, NHL playoffs, baseball rolling, NFL draft, springtime, what's not to love. Are you done with New Orleans till the baby, I would guess? I know you did Mardi Gras big.
What you mean it's Jazz Fest? What you talking about?
Okay, good. So you're still getting to do jazz.
Come on now.
That's my first Jazz Fest. I can't even remember the last one I missed. It hurts me. Are you down there this weekend or next?
Next.
So next weekend, Pearl Jam. Be fun. Lil Wayne, I saw.
Lil Wayne is this week. I'm black, man. You think I know about? I mean, I know Pearl Jam, but come on now.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, you were rocking the second row of Widespread Panic at Ulster with me. So, and I know you like.
Truly, this year it all depends on how the wife is feeling again. Next week starts the any day now phase of the baby coming. So
that's why I was surprised you were going to make Jazz Fest.
This shit more than a city, and this shit more than.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, what if if the baby decides to pop out in New Orleans and ends up being born in New Orleans? How bad would that be? You know.
Come on, now no matter what, he's going to be a New Orleans baby. So
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. Once again, Stella Blue and Dude Wipes. Find Dude Wipes at Walmart, Amazon, Target, all over the World Wide Web. Only way to start your morning. Drink some Stella Blue coffee. Get cleaned out with Dude Wipes. Let it rip. We'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow to break down the first round of the NFL Draft. Also, NFL Draft Show tonight at 7. Man, it's a good day to have a good day. I mean, the vibes are high. And let's do it. Thanks again to Tyler Moody and Jono. See y'all later tonight. Thanks, Jono. That was fun.
You the man, man. I'm gonna hit you up tonight, okay?
Yeah. Like right after, like I'll be on with the Saints picks, but then I can pop on your show anytime. Like my role is minor tonight, so like I'll be free.
If I feel my show is flowing correctly, again, because I'm kind of doing this shit by duct tape right now with all the baby stuff we trying to get together. I would definitely send you the link if you have time.
Yeah, I'd love to. I love coming on with you anytime.
You the man. Shout out to my guy Moody too. Okay, y'all have a good one. I'm talking to you tonight, man.
Thanks, bud.
Yes, sir.